We are back with another episode from this hot 5-10 episode of Poker Time. You have 10 cash.
Yep.
Pretty exciting.
Yes.
Yes. There's a straddle on the button. And Digital Dan is first to act, and he just figured that out.
He's like, why are you making so much eye contact with me?
Exciting a story. It's like he's wanting more from me.
Danny folded.
He didn't play King 9 suited
I
for the gun.
thought for sure he was going to play it.
The
Wolf with jacks.
Wolfinator.
Dance with a donut in my hand?
Wolf has been confirmed to have no vials of blood, at least in his car, that we're aware of.
You're referring to a
Yes.
deleted clip of audio.
I'm aware of that.
Good.
It's funny anyway.
My buddy Mark had his
All right. Well, Wonka's got the nice suited connectors. He often folds in this spot, but he decides this is the time that I'm going to Wonka it up a little bit.
Well, they are deep as hell, and he's got position. I think that both those things makes it a little bit easier, and also he doesn't throw at the blind squeezing. 'Cause
True.
There's more people have folded, so he's in later position, sort of at least pre-flop than he otherwise would
Oh,
be.
yeah.
During the day.
Brian and Bob.
Yeah, and you guys were drinking.
And Wonka flops pretty well.
So Stewie Younger flops a deuce. So good for him.
I was
And of
just-
course, Wolf's got the nice overpair here, so everyone's got a little something here.
Brian was here tonight.
Backdoor flush draws and straight draws for Stewie Younger.
Stewie's probably going to fold once there's a bet and a call or raise from Wonka. Probably call.
If it's a call and it's cheap,
He was the one
he might just stick around and see if he can spike something.
And he is terrible at poker. I mean,
Looks like it's $100 into 210. We know Wonka is definitely not folding.
Sorry, Brian. I thought you were really good.
you're welcome, Brian. Building your image.
That's a call, and now let's see what Stewie does. He lets it go right away. Bink, 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 bink.
Stu would have made a flush draw to go with his deuce.
Yep, it would have gotten pretty interesting, but Wonka's got the nuts.
Is this a bet or a check for Wolf? It's really close, I think. This card does interact with Wonka's range pretty well.
7-8 suited, 5-6,
8-8.
8-8. Wolf is going to bet. It's not a terrible idea. Wonka has other hands, of course. He could have 2 9s. He could have 2 10s. He could have ace-7 suited. He could have 7-6 suited. Maybe 4-5 suited sometimes. Will Wonka raise or will Wonka call? They are deep.
I think you can raise here.
I think you should raise when you're this deep. Let's try and play a huge pot if you're Wonka.
650.
You might have picked up a diamond draw with whatever the hell you had on the flop. I don't know what it would have been. 3-5 suited. You never
7-9 suited.
Wonka like maybe, but he could call with that. But anyway, Wonka makes it looks like 650. And can Wolf find a fold here? He's got a pretty good hand.
At least it
Looks
didn't-
like he's not going to find that fold.
It sure doesn't. And he is drawing dead as he puts the money in.
It's somewhere over there.
Is it red?
And if you're Wolf, he doesn't know it, but he's rooting for a really ugly card here. Like, that's a good one for
That's a
him.
very ugly card. I don't know if Wonka's even going to bet this card.
4 to a straight, 3 to a flush. Wolf's checked. Wonka's not going to be able to get value no matter what he does.
I don't think he should bet.
I think this is a pretty good check back. I agree. How can you get called by an overpair now? You have to hope he's got 7-8 and is stubborn as hell.
Maybe you could bet like 300.
Maybe. I think Wonka's probably just going to find a check.
Yeah, if you
This is
bet
a
300.
this is a really tough one. Whoa, Wonka is thinking longer.
You got excited.
I
Those
did.
time cards deceive.
They do. What a tangled web those time cards weave. When those time cards practice to deceive, Grant.
That's well said.
I'm sitting here, of course, with Grant Dennison, one of the poker guys. It's great to have you.
It's a weird thing to say.
Is Wonka looks like he's loading up. Wow, Wonka's like, I have a straight. You just don't have diamonds enough at the time.
Oh,
And a quick call from Wolf.
you must have bet
Wow.
really small.
Yeah, 280. There you go. You basically called that.
There is a concern of opening yourself up to a check raise, and I guess you could have a plan to call, but that's a tangled web in itself.
It seems so tough for Wolf to call, for Wolf to make a check raise without having it there.
Yeah,
So tough. Wonka absolutely could have been raising with a flush draw on the turn, right?
yeah.
Like, so often, if he doesn't have a monster hand, he's raising with a flush draw on the turn. In fact, like thinking about it, what is Wolf supposed to be able to be beating when he calls there? It's hard to come up
280.
with too much. What?
280. He's beating 280.
He's beating $280.
Yeah. I think that's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't think
It was cheap. It was. He's getting like almost 7 to 1.
Yeah,
right?
he has to be right.
Yeah.
So, like
Okay.
not too often, but still, it is tough to think of a hand that you could beat.
Yeah. You need Wonka to have like 2 9s, have like gone for the weird raise on the turn, and now be value betting the river or bluffing. Maybe Wonka's somehow bluffing with a different kind of a hand.
Maybe.
I have to call with that bet sizing. There's no
It's hard to
getting
come up
around
with
that.
much. Anyway, at least it was cheap.
Hey.
Cheap. Hey. Digital Dan with the straddle. That's Digital Dan right there on the left
He is digital.
with the Brute Squad T-shirt.
Not physical. Digital.
Brute Squad, of course, from the Princess Bride.
No need to explain. You can leave that one.
Everyone's just going to get out of the way and let Digital Dan take this one down.
He creates fear.
You can tell. He thinks it's because of the shirt, but we know it's because of the hair.
Yes.
That haircut is terrifying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess, yeah, you don't have to worry about the second one.
I've only looked at one.
I
You
forgot.
know
I
what I'm
gave this speech.
Digital Dan does work out every day. I do know this about him, and he is strong.
Good for him.
Stronger than he looks. Do not get punched by Digital Dan. That is my advice to all.
Have you been
viewers.
punched by digital?
No,
Dan?
of course not. I would not. I wouldn't follow. I'm following my own advice, but I can imagine what it would feel like, and it would hurt.
But you're the type of guy that people like to punch, whether
Yeah.
you want that to happen or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in my life.
Ah, you young guys. It's like a light hangover for you guys.
Digital Dan has never actually punched me. He's probably thought about it.
Oh, for sure, he's thought about it.
How about that your left eye's twitching? Is that
You got to straddle on the button once again.
I did get out my
Is Wheel going to limp the ace jack? It looks like his Wheel's going to limp the ace jack.
Could raise.
He could raise, could limp with the intention of sometimes re-raising. There's the limp. And Wolf is staring it down like a hungry animal.
Like a wolf.
Like a guy who doesn't have any vials of blood in his car.
Exactly. He's got ace queen.
Yeah. Stuart is hearing the siren call of the Jack 9 suited.
He
I know.
knows he's supposed to fold, but he's not gonna.
He's
just not gonna do
Like,
it.
well, I am in position.
I know I'm supposed to. I gotta do it anyway.
Wheel's got a lot of money in front of him. Maybe it's a good play.
Oh, Stuart.
At least he's in position.
Yeah. Good for him.
And Wheel,
He's doing poorly against these hands because of, the spades and the jack and wheels hand.
that said, Oh, you're talking about Stuart. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about Wheel.
No.
Yeah, Wheel, this would be strange for Wheel to limp fold here with a hand this strong.
Wow.
He is going to do it. What a weird miracle fold.
That's good for Stuart.
Wheel had 2 outs. But yeah, great for Stuart. Those 2 outs are now Stuart's. And Stuart flops the gutty.
This is the type of board that you could raise as Stuart.
Wheel's got to be furious.
Oh, yeah.
That he
He's
folded.
fuming.
And Wolf is just going to check right away. It wouldn't surprise me to see Stuart just start firing.
Yep. You can have a lot of this board.
Yep, there it is.
1/3 pot.
Look at that really nice sizing by Stuart. This is exactly the kind of hand that just hates its life, even for $100 here, right? You're out of position. What are you supposed to do?
When your heads up, maybe it's a little easier to bet the 100 yourself with ace queen than to check.
Well, is this a raise that's incoming?
Wow. So Wolf
How about this?
Wolf just senses something. He doesn't block anything.
He sure doesn't.
He just
Wolf is making a play.
he has seen Stuart for long enough this session, or he has some sort of read, or he just decided he wanted to do it.
Oh, it feels good, doesn't it? Well, if he did have the best hand, but still
Or it is.
shows the queen. Now, Danny calls out 4 deuce. That's because the 4 deuce game is on.
Oh yeah.
If you win with 4 deuce in any way and you turn it over, everyone has to pay you $25. Not $25 total, $25 each, Grant. So that's a lot. It's
Yep.
a lot of money, a lot of bones, Grant.
I love them bones.
Yeah. So if you ever, Stuart has been playing 4 deuce. If you've been watching previous episodes, pretty aggressively. Sometimes sometimes it's worked out for him. Sometimes it hasn't.
If you've been watching previous sessions, Stuart's been playing 4 deuce when the game's not on even.
Yes, that is correct.
Because it's the digital Dan, and he admires the strength of digital Dan and doesn't want to get punched.
Does Stuart Stuart took Digital Dan's dice at one point and was using them a little bit. I don't know if he still has them. It's a little hard to tell. 'Cause those dice are so tiny. They're microscopic dice. They're dice for ants. Anyway, probably a straddle on the button.
This is a bit of a surprising open for Wonka.
Wonka's deciding to play some pots. He's got 5K, and I think he's like, all right, let's see if we can win let's see if we can have a big night. Because, yeah, you're right. This is not normal Wonka opening. And Digital Dan thinking with Queen Deuce. Weird. Dan has an easy call. Maybe because there's that straddle on, Wonka is a little more apt to go after some of that money. Interesting flop, by the way.
Little something for everybody.
Yeah. Easy continue for Wonka.
75. No, much
Come on.
smaller.
35, bro.
That's tiny.
Yeah, he thinks like Danny's got a lot of insta folds. He's defended his straddle.
Another good card for Wonka.
Yeah, picks up the gutter. One more bullet may get this done. Although, would he really bet an ace twice? Probably not, right?
Danny doesn't have too many nines, having not raised the flop when it was 35. So you could justify ace jack plus.
That's an interesting point. Wonka checks. Interesting. And Danny just checks it right back. I like that. That seems pretty smart. Oh,
Wonka hits both draws.
Comes in both ways. Danny likes to call. We've seen Danny make some big-time hero calls. This wouldn't be nearly as big as some of the other ones, depending on how Wonka
At this
sizes
point,
this.
Danny would only be beating a bluff, of course.
Of course.
What are the bluffs? The King of Hearts?
Wonka checks again. And Danny immediately checks it back. Wonka had... Ooh, I guess he's going for the check raise?
I guess so.
Seems like it. I guess he could have seen the sizing.
Max needle.
Sounds right.
That's passive aggressive.
Thank you. That was.
We're back.
Sort of.
Another great ad from Nitrogen. They, you know, if you guys are longtime watchers, you'll know that it's a new ad every week.
Oh, yeah.
Always putting Nitrogen, constantly producing ads.
They love doing that.
Yep.
They do it for fun.
They have a guy who loves doing
They have
it.
a team.
Yeah, but it's the guy's team. There's a guy. He has a team.
The team rotates, and you know that.
Yeah, but it's still a guy.
You're going to cause a lot of problems at Nitrogen HQ with
I
this.
feel like I already have just by saying they have a new ad every week.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's clearly not true. Anyway, Mamba under the gun. Ace deuce of clubs. A lot of people are going to play this hand.
Mamba's one of them.
Yeah, I think
It's not horrible.
I would be playing this hand for sure.
Stuart
There it
has the
is.
magical hand.
Here we go. He's just going to call.
He's going to try to vary his play with the four deuce. But I don't know, when an under the gun player opens and you get it +1, it's kind of a miracle. You should 3-bet it. You get to look the strongest that you could possibly look.
You do look incredibly strong.
Danny just called with 9-6. No, he 3-bet with 9-6.
Well,
is the
better than-
9-6 game on? Are we playing the 9-6 game? Do you get $100 per person for 9-6? Because if not, what the hell?
Danny's got a lot of gamble, and he's got a few left turns in his game. You know, that was one of them.
Unless there is a read that Danny has on these players, which is possible.
They are both weak, but not weak enough that anyone's going to fold here. Stuart can't fold. He gets an extra 175 on top of the 305 that's in there if he wins this pot. This is actually, he can't know it, but this is an amazing time to put in the back.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
By the way, Mamba is now
His was actually an
capped
invitation.
by him just calling. That tells Stuart
Yeah.
something. So you just have to get through Danny. But still, it's hard. It's a really weird story, of course. But
It
Stuart
is.
could have queens here.
Sure, why not?
He could even have kings.
This coming from the man who imagines two girls making out when he's in the middle of a hand. I mean,
Well, guess who flops the best hand?
I'm going to go with Stuart.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
use your tongue.
Checks through. Stuart's got to like that. But now, of course,
Ooh.
bingo bongo.
Well, that's not going to help. He's going to need a 4 to win.
Yep. 5 for the chop with Mamba.
Danny, of course, going to represent the ace.
Danny's the one guy who's got nothing at all going on.
Now, if the miracle could happen where Mamba folds and Stuart calls, Stuart can still get all those $25 from everybody.
I mean, Stuart blocks the nuts, right? So, you know, he may make a play at some point.
Blocking the nuts is not super significant when the nuts is deuce 5.
Agreed, especially when you're at +1.
Yeah.
That is a really fair point. Is that a call? It is a call.
I think Stuart's done.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But boy, a raise would be incredible here. It would work. I assume it would work.
Is it worth it?
I mean, you get an extra 175. It's a $175 bonus, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, Danny looks like he has ace-queen, right?
Yeah.
So, will Danny fold ace-queen? I don't know.
He does not look like he has ace-king. He looks like he has ace-queen.
Yeah. It's a different kind of a thing. That 10 is probably going to... Well, I guess Danny can really represent here. Mamba has an easy check.
Danny can't represent a 10 that well, and Mamba can have a 10.
I mean, Danny is telling a super weird story if he bets big here, but you could do it anyway, and he does. He goes all in. There's the big bet. Wow. 2 times the pot. How can Mamba ever call?
Because the story is bunk.
The story is terrible, but still, it's a tough.
Mamba smells something.
Yeah, he knows. Did Danny just throw him a time card?
Perhaps.
I think he
That's
did.
a cool move.
Yeah.
Danny just can't represent a 10. He didn't bet the flop three ways.
And he bet the turn when the ace came. Like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
And you would never go all in with ace-king when Mamba could have a 10.
He has to have, like, pocket 4s or something for this to make any sense at all, right?
Yeah. Which is strange not to bet the ace anyway. Or to bet the ace. I guess it's fine to bet the ace.
Yeah,
Never
he
mind.
bet the ace, but he checked the flop 3
Yeah.
ways. He's usually betting any kind of strong hand. The story does not make sense. See if Mamba can put the pieces together. He has the worst kicker with his ace.
But Danny's he never has a kicker with his ace because Danny never has an ace when he plays
That's correct.
this way.
That's correct. But, you know, psychologically, you still feel that deuce. It's an anchor pulling you down, man.
I mean, the deuce is actually a good
5
blocker.
seconds.
It's a good blocker against a guy like Danny who
4
could have
seconds.
who could have deuce 5.
He got thrown another card. Oh, he throws it back and looks like he's been folded. He's timed out and he's folded.
Woo! Danny got through.
Wow.
That must have been a slightly stressful moment. Just to show up with a completely random 9-high bluff.
Also, 2x the pot, 1.8 to win 900 there. That's unusual.
That's when you might go, if you get called, you might drive home thinking about the whole way, you know?
Yep. I mean, that story was...
It was not good.
As bad a story as you're going to see.
That was
in
Jupiter's
poker.
Ascending. That was
Some people like that movie,
Okay.
Grant, but I'm not one of them.
That's a hard call.
Jupiter Ascending.
Ace deuce, I'm literally playing absolutely no.
Channing Tatum is a goat man.
Dog man.
Dog man.
Yeah. Come on.
Danny just told the story where Channing Tatum was a dog man. That's basically the story he told.
After this night, I'm not going to play any poker for like 6 months. Genuinely glad about that fact.
Really?
Why?
Yeah.
Wow.
Funny.
Well, to be fair, you have been playing a lot of poker over the last
You're gonna
couple
miss
months.
me.
That's true.
Can you imagine?
Mr. Younger has a
That's not me.
pretty little hand.
He doesn't have 4 deuce, so that's disappointing for him. But he does have a nice hand.
There clearly was a straddle on the button because he raises it to 80.
Or he's just tilting his balls off.
Looks like Danny's going for another re-raise here.
You know when I'm like,
I thought he had the jack 5 for a second, and I was not surprised. But turns out Caremio has the jack 5.
Hit Danny. I would guess Danny has a hand this time. Nope. 4 deuce.
Well, that's a hand.
It's a different kind of a hand.
That counts.
We
It's-
understand why he did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuart's hand probably a little too good to fold here, especially against Danny's wide-ass range.
Yeah. Hearts would be death for Danny.
Yeah. Like, you don't love this if you're Stuart, but if you're not suited, it's an easy fold, of course. Probably not even in the hand.
Since we put the 4 deuce game on, we've seen a lot of 4 deuce. There's only 16 combos of 4 deuce.
I mean, it's as common as any other combination, like
Right, but-
ace king. We haven't seen very much ace king at all.
Right, exactly.
It's weird. It's great. And well, Danny did it. He did it again.
What a joy. You got to protect your equity because it's extra.
That's
You'd
a
always
fair
have to
point.
protect your equity here, but there's extra equity to protect. Here we
And
go.
Danny gets to flip it over. Everyone has to pay. Here comes the free money. It's not really free, of course.
No, you had to risk things to get that money.
Yeah. Things are going well for Danny.
Yep.
as they have been lately in general in this game, I would say. Not just this session, but overall.
Yeah.
He's been doing very well.
Same.
Same.
And also a super nice guy.
And he's apparently got a barbecue company that's doing quite
I
well.
don't think
It's at
I've
least a
had it. I
meat
really
company.
don't.
Is it a barbecue company?
I think it's all about barbecuing.
Oh, yeah? Okay, maybe it is. Hey,
Dan
let's
knows
go
more
double
than the
screen.
rest of us.
I love this split screen action.
When are you going to get over it, man?
I mean, never if it's going to look this good.
1998. Get over it.
It looks amazing, and I'm super happy. What I love is when I see something in both screens at the same time, and you see, but from different angles, like the dealer moves her hand, but it's on both screens still. That is like, I feel like I'm a Soviet spy satellite.
I
you
think
know?
that's proof of life. That's called proof of life.
I think that's the correct term.
My record.
Oh, look at our dealer Brittany.
I might have had it like once.
Put those two cards,
He is, yeah.
separate them, but only on one of the screens, and I know that's a disappointment for a lot of our viewers.
I'm glad you said that because
Mhm.
otherwise things would have gone unsaid.
Yeah. So we are going to play an Omaha pot now, in case you're wondering what's up.
Bomb pot.
I don't know.
Yep,
but
Omaha
I'll take
bomb
another
pot.
shot with you, though.
Of course. Here's the first one. It's Jack 6-3 2 diamonds. Comes the second board because of course it's a double board. Deuce Queen 8 2 diamonds as well.
Well, having diamonds is kind of nice, although you block yourself with all of those diamonds out there.
But if you have nut diamonds, you can really take some swings here.
yeah.
Like you can really play this fast because you're often getting half the pot. Crimea with bad diamonds.
That includes a gut shot or kind of and a pair.
Yep, he's got a pair and a gutter up top. And of course diamonds, just diamonds on the bottom. No real strong hands yet as we look.
Queen 8 for wheel on the bottom.
Yep. Nothing though going on for him on the top. By the way, Cremio raised up his 7-5 of diamonds. I guess
Well, it was
he's
only
got-
a $10 bet.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. He's got a lot going on that top with some bailout stuff on the bottom, so it makes sense. I don't know if anyone. Oh, there's diamonds for Wonka, but he's not gonna be able to stick around with just the 10 high flush draw. And unless Stewart's got something, this may be it. I don't see how Digital Dan can call,
So it is.
and it's over.
No, it doesn't work. So
Mercifully.
Cremio shows how to play a flush draw aggressively.
Thanks, 2007.
Yeah.
I've been upstairs the whole
You know, David Tuckman back like in 2008 on one of these cash games was saying, you know, you never hear anyone say he's a great player. He's so passive. They only say he's so aggressive. I remember thinking like, that can't be right, David Tuckman. Even
Yeah.
back then, I was like, that sounds wrong. And I think we've all proven that it is. All of us.
We all did it
We
collectively.
did it as a group. It's a DAO, basically.
gone forever.
What?
A DAO? Decentralized Autonomous Organization.
Wow.
You don't know about that?
You're too far into the
I
world.
guess I am. I actually thought you were going to know what that was.
It was
Wow.
a
No.
Okay, we all learned something together. Wonka's going to straddle.
Magnetic wristband that caused the problem.
Yes.
Good old Dow talk.
Yeah. DAOs are the future, man. You'll see.
I thought you were talking about ancient Chinese philosophy.
Oh, yeah, it could have been. But it wasn't.
Do you have any?
I don't know if anyone has anything here. I guess Wolf's Queen 9 is just enough to see a flop. You're just going to see a flop.
Open it from the cutoff, I would think.
He's
Yeah.
going to raise.
But
And
it's not
Wonka-
going to work out.
So Wonka's question, of course, here is going to be to call or to raise.
Always raise.
Not even a lot of
Grant wants him to always raise.
94% of the time.
See if Wonka agrees.
Are you taking
Nope.
advantage?
Wonka's like, not
Well,
always.
There's going to be a 6%er.
By the way, Grant's the guy who thinks always means 94%.
Sometimes
Interesting.
sometimes it means that.
Sometimes it does. Oh, Wonka flops the nuts.
Should have raised.
Nothing for Wolf.
Not that he
Wolf
would've
is going to
gotten
fold anyway, yeah. Let's see if Wolf takes any swings.
He's going to take one swing. He's going to take a little stabby stab.
Looks like you're right.
Try to get a vial of blood out of Wonka.
I assume Wonka's probably just going to call here. Although $60 into what is it 170, 165, 175.
I mean, when it's all
Third pot.
all hearts, when it's fully mono, you can try to rep the ace of hearts
Exactly.
alone, and then Wolf might have to call with some made hands.
Agreed. But Wonka's just going to call, being in position, give Wolf a little bit more rope. Pot is, smaller than you'd want. Wolf does pick up a gutter. It would not help, but he's got he's rooting for three cards pretty hard here. That may be enough for Wolf to try one more time. I really prefer a 10 if you had to pick up a straight draw, but what are you going to do? He's going to fire.
It's like the lowest.
All right, it's probably time for Wonka to see if Wolf actually has anything.
Yeah, the question is if Wolf would bluff the river on innocuous runouts, because if he would, it
Yep.
might be better to call overall because it's super strong to raise now.
Nowhere. He's like, hey, by the way.
Yep. I mean, you could still have the Ace of Hearts. You could just have the Ace of Hearts
Yeah,
and
you
raise.
could.
Wow, man.
It's always fun to watch someone like Wolf where he's just like, come on, man, come on, fold. And like Wonka is, there's nothing, there's the raise. There's nothing Wolf can ever do.
Oh, way worse when he comes
Dejected.
See if Wonka shows him. Sometimes Wonka will show these.
Nice hand.
Not really.
That was Lyman.
That's
I
not
don't
true.
know. Lyman, something happened
It's
to
a
Lyman.
lie.
Good, bad, or
Why would you lie to the people?
I wanted the people to be deceived. That's why.
Okay, that's a reasonable answer.
Good hand, sir.
Thank you.
Good hand.
Also,
Well
it's
played.
one of the few times I feel alive.
I think he was leaving.
You either have to have something at stake or be lying to somebody.
I mean, honestly, wanting the people to be deceived is really just saying I lied, right? Like I wanted to lie. Why did you lie? Because I wanted to lie. I wanted to deceive someone. That's the same thing, right? It's not really a good answer.
well, that's like the most basic answer for why you lie. That's the most likely that you just have a problem where you lie all the time because there's good reasons to lie, or at least other reasons than I just wanted to lie.
Of course, there are good reasons to lie. I'm saying, but the reason I gave
Like-
wasn't a good reason.
Like I wanted people to think I wasn't a terrible person.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I wanted to fool that child
Yeah.
into doing something harmful to themselves or others.
Wow, cool reason to lie.
Yeah.
My wife's got
I'm saying that would be for some people a good reason. Obviously not for me.
Well, the next
sounds
level.
like Lyman.
Danny's with the pocket threes.
Still here.
See, I sort of did that with a
Yeah.
little Italian
Do you
action there.
have? Do you own
With
a,
the pocket
do
threes.
you own a pizzeria?
I mean, I'd love to. Wolf 3-bet in the ace queen.
Dice game where he won $15,000.
I will tell you one thing. He shouldn't fold, but Danny never would fold this hand in a million billion years because he's Danny. So even if the price was wrong, look how quickly
All right.
he's like, let's go.
I'm a fish.
Let's see what happens now.
At least you're not a
He wants to see the flop.
Not a guppy.
It's very understandable.
Maybe
I'm
a
not saying he
third
shouldn't. He should be calling here, of
What's a
course.
fat fish? I'm a fat fish.
Go deep there. And
Pretty good flop for threes,
pretty
but
good.
Wolf is a guy who doesn't have to have it when he three bets, so you probably
Oh,
have to
yeah.
call once. But Wolf does check. Oh,
Well.
there's the old three. Check on the turn. Okay.
And a
Danny.
6 on the river. There's the bet from Danny. Wolf could. I mean, it's not inconceivable to call here.
No, I think it's reasonable to call. Actually,
Danny bets almost pot.
I think he just bet whatever was in his hand,
Yep.
which happened to be almost pot.
It's a lot. You're getting 2 to 1. You're beating all the bluffs.
Which
All of
are
them.
a lot of random bluffs from Danny. You're
Yep.
gonna find a lot of random bluffs here. I think it's profitable to call with this hand.
I don't hate it, but Wolf gets away.
Good
saves
fold.
himself that money.
I would have probably called. So good job by Wolf.
Then he shows A3 and the other 3, and Wolf's like, yeah, well, whatever.
I'll get your blood.
Wolf looks a little dejected.
Well, he's lost a couple hands.
Yeah.
He's sad.
Once in
Lost
a
2 hands in a
while.
row. Basically lost almost no money in that
pot,
hand, though. That was
next
pretty
pot
good.
that I scooped.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we were taking a
Maybe he's
shot.
trying to learn the lesson from the hand right before where he C-bet and then C-bet, you know.
No, it's gonna be.
That's
So
the term,
never
right?
bet. Never bet.
Never ever bet unless you have the nuts or the second
This
nuts.
hand I got.
But only the second nuts in very safe particular
Yeah, not on like a
situations.
3 flush board, because then somebody could have. The
What if
nuts.
someone has a flush? Well, if you have the second nuts, then you have like the king high flush
Yeah, that's not good enough.
because you could get raised.
Yeah. What if somebody has the ace high flush?
I know.
You have to have the
Or how do you get
Like
value?
you can bet on like a king jack board when you have kings. That's okay.
100%.
Yeah, because
But it's close. But if you get raised, you fold.
I mean, quad jacks is just sitting there.
Yeah. Hey, Dan has queens.
Hey, Dan has queens, everybody.
Longer
Hey,
run
everybody.
if I say next time I fold, we'll
Look how happy Dan is. You can see through the mask, the smiling.
That's a bit of a tell.
Look at him. Look at him. He's like wide awake for the first
You
time.
can go whenever you want to.
Feels so alive for the very first time.
Cremio with the hand that very reasonably calls here, but he
Does
3
not.
bets, which I also don't hate.
I like it better actually.
Do you have a bedtime?
He's got a lot of people behind him, and he clears
Yeah,
all the
owner goes
chaff
bad.
out,
Shift chaff.
including the Stewie Younger. King Jack, which 100% was going to call if he had called.
I imagine Dan will just call here. These positions are very strong.
They're deep, too. So deep.
I don't
You can,
call
of course,
when I
put a
get to pick
4-bet in
up
with
all the
queens.
time.
It's not crazy. But you're right. Effectively under the gun and +1 here. Making
You are allowed to 4-bet in this game, but no check and then raise. It's considered rude.
Yeah, there's a sign.
Yeah.
Here we go, and it's 2 clubs for Cremio, not 1.
This could get a little nasty.
Yep, Digital Dan flops pretty well. Certainly not folding anytime soon. Cremio has a happy continue.
Jonathan, are you guys going to like
This
prefix
38% equity.
I imagine Dan will just call, but you could raise this hand.
You
most,
could.
Most people won't.
What are you hoping to get called by? Jack, Jack?
It's mostly equity denial.
Yeah.
King of spades, slightly scary. If Dan was thinking Cremio's range was tighter than it actually is, he's like, oh, well, I'm now losing to most of the range.
Yes. I'm beating jacks exactly. Maybe nines. Those hands would likely check back. Cremio, though, with that king, kind of a nice opportunity to decide to continue here if he wants.
Yeah, you can rep ace king, aces still, kings full.
Absolutely. 10-10.
Yep.
But I've also been bluffing.
Of course, he has the escape valve with the potential club on the river, and Dan now has to think about it. I don't see how Dan can continue. What do you do if you call and he bets again?
Yeah, you just fold unless you had a queen.
Yeah. That's only 2 outs.
You know that I know that you know that I know.
She knows that.
You just need Cremio. Cremio re-raised +1. I mean, that's looks very strong, as you said.
Yeah.
Ace King feels like a big part. Now it feels like aces. Whoa, I thought he was calling. Aces, kings, ace king, 10-10. Feels like almost all of the range, actually, that continues here, right?
Well,
Maybe ace, queen of clubs.
And then the clubs, yeah.
Yeah.
$8,000 up, whatever that was.
And how many of those clubs really exist? I guess maybe more than Dan might think, but I wouldn't know how to discern that in the moment at the table.
Yeah, I
And
like
Dan
the
lets
fold.
it go, and he shows it, and Cremio's going to love seeing that
Let's see. Cremio, all class, though.
for the last hand of the night.
Indeed. We got one more episode, and it's coming to you next week. See you there.